Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Some paperwork here that we can take care of if at all possible, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to, before I begin my question, I'd like to ask unanimous consent to insert into the record the statement for my friend and a fierce advocate for our veterans, Representative Gus Belarakis. He has prepared a statement that needs to be put in the record.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Belarakis had planned to be here today and introduce Mr. Marshall. Unfortunately, he needed to lead a hearing in another subcommittee, and he was sorry and apologizes that he could not be here. With that, I'd like to ask just a few questions, if I might. I'm a little concerned. We're hearing increased concerns from veterans who cannot get timely appointments still in the VA healthcare system. And I'm also hearing that we're not being informed about options, that they're not being informed about options that are available through the Missions Act. Some of these veterans have serious conditions like cancer, where delays could cost them their lives. Are you hearing similar concerns about access to care from your members?
Personally, I receive my care, all my medical care, from the Department of Veterans Affairs at Bay Pines. I am familiar with Florida only, sir, mostly, and I have received very little complaints regarding being able to get their appointments on a timely basis. And if they do be referred out to the private sector, there are times, sir, that the private sector takes longer than the VA to schedule them an appointment. But I will yield to our legislative director for further comments.
Ranking Member, the independent budget, which DAV has been a part of for over 30 years, also has talked about access issues. Although we're not hearing about significant delays in any large way right now, we want to make sure that all veterans can have access to quality and timely care. Access to timely care depends on resources, the resources to make sure that staff vacancies have been filled, that have been open, and it's essential that space, is available for them, and working with the community through the VA's community care network. So we want to make sure that all veterans have access to care when and where they need it.
Thank you. We have heard some real concerns coming through my office. I've got a very short period of time here, but I would like to ask very quickly. I appreciate the fact, as the chairman, that that you're in support of what is being done to try to keep firearms in safe training and all of those things, because of the 20 people that are committing suicide every day. The problem is about only 6 of them are actually seeking help, and we need to make sure that they do seek help through the VA. But right now, there's a situation in our VA that's been going on for several years, and many of the veterans I talk with do not seek help from the VA because they're concerned that they would lose their Second Amendment rights under the fact that if they receive a fiduciary, they are automatically turned over to the NICS. And then their right to bear arms is taken away without going through the courts. Have you heard concerns about that as well? And I'm going to be carrying, I've got a bill out there that has not been called yet, but tries to deal with this so that they get the exact same treatment as someone who's not a veteran, in the fact that if they're a danger themselves or a danger to someone else, then the courts can get involved, but not automatically have someone, just because they receive a fiduciary from the VA, that they're going to really be not able to carry weapons or own them.
Yes, sir, I have heard that same complaint, and I will yield to our legislative director or executive director for further comment.
Thank you, Ranking Member Bost. DAV, we have a very firm stance. Part of our Constitution speaks to the Constitution of the United States. We believe that all veterans are citizens of this country. They should have all their rights, and they should certainly have due process, regardless what that means in regards to a fiduciary or not. The simple fact that they have a fiduciary for financial purposes doesn't mean that they're incompetent for purposes of handling a firearm. So due process is the key ingredient to making sure that the jurisdiction is clear, that the Department of Veterans Affairs is not a court, and that a court is the competent authority to make those decisions.
Thank you. And I appreciate the answer to the questions. And with that, I yield back. I went over, Mr. Chairman.